Captain Waridi Enoswo, nurturing Nigerian maritime students into greatness. AMSAY 2026. AMSAY, the annual Maritime Students and Youth Conference, became a dream in the heart of Silver Obasi. Seeing how Captain Waridi Enoswo, then a Director of Shipping Development and Maritime Safety in NEMASA, was nurturing his mentees, the students of Federal College of Fisheries and Marine, over a decade ago. As a reporter, he felt this young generation will require more and build the gap between the older generation with the present. The event of this 10th year had in attendance the critical stakeholders that serves as lifeline to a nation's marine and blue economy. Captain Waridi Enoswo, presently the Executive Director of Operations and Technical, Santita Security Services Nigeria Limited, the company that safeguards critical oil and gas infrastructure across Nigeria, protecting oil theft, boosting oil production in Nigeria, was the key speaker of the 10th year milestone AMSAY Conference 2026. It shed light on overview strategies taken by successive countries of the maritime nation, the infrastructure aspect, institution, and economic transformation. While mentoring the students, he made known on how possible it is for Nigeria to produce energy from the ocean, as is being done in China today.
There are countries now that produce energy from the ocean. China is number one. And if we are serious enough, we should be able to do that in Nigeria very easy. And the reason is simple. The ocean current around the Gulf of Guinea is in one direction and then goes back around and comes that way.
It suggested tax incentives will help to grow particularly the marine and blue economy.
Tax incentives. Tax incentives are key to economic growth. Do you want to encourage people to bring in ships and you say, okay, you won't pay tax for 6 years? I don't know. 4 years? I don't know. I'm not too sure who is advising or who is suggesting what. But then, without tax incentives, businesses will not thrive. They'll struggle. If all is about taxing people, you're going to tax people out of existence. That's what's going to happen. So this industry will require a lot of incentives.
While talking on Nigeria's Maritime Academy, his point of view as a lecturer in then Australian Maritime College was, a class should not be more than 24 students with one instructor, or else certificate of competency will be a tough one.
That's a tough one for a certificate of competency, because in competency-based environment, I'm not too sure if this regulation has changed. You can't have more than 24 persons to one instructor, not more. If you have more than that, you have to have 2 instructors. That's the last thing. Maybe now you can back them the way you want. But I know so because not only have I been a student, I've also participated in training people, because you're not going to be able to impact knowledge to so many people at once if it is a hands-on job.
He called for regularization of the vocational training centers to curb varying standards.
Vocational training, we're having them here and there now, so which is good. They're spreading around. So we're doing very well in that sector, but we have to regulate them. We have to regulate them. Because vocational training are like religious houses. You'll be reading your own verse of the Bible, the other person is reading his own. The possibility of clash is very, very high. So if the regulator is not very, very smart, you might have varying standards here and there.
On regulatory framework and compliance with international conventions, He admonished the future AMSmen, the present maritime students, not to allow turn-by-turn representative to International Maritime Organization in the interest of the nation.
Regulatory framework, compliance with international conventions. This Nigeria has quite been good. They've signed quite a lot of conventions, but signing is easy. Implementation is the problem. You go to the IMO, and they're making all these laws and all these regulations which you want to go and sign. Are you going to sign and come back and say you have signed, or are you going to sign and implement? I'll tell you how we do it in Australia. And I'm only advising those here and those who are going to be the future helmsmen of this industry to take this very, very carefully, very, very carefully. Don't send people to the IMO on turn by turn. Don't do it. It's dangerous. You know why? Every day you send somebody turn by turn, the person is only going to learn, never contribute. In Australia, we put in specific people, we have their qualifications and everything and say, yes, okay, this is maritime safety. Yes, it is safety. We are sending so people there. These persons will go on every convention, and you see, as we speak today, they are experts in it. So even if you are suggesting something we cannot implement in a set period, we will not agree in IMO that it will be done. No. We'll come back and give ourselves a report and say, hey, you the technical guys, when do you think we can manufacture this equipment in Australia? Not import this equipment into Australia.
When the picture shows it all, there's no need for trying or pretending. As sung by George Benson. And that was exactly what Captain Wilde Enoswal, the esteemed maritime and aviation expert, did when he showed the picture taken with students as a lecturer at the Australian Maritime College, now known as Tasmanian University, in boosting the morale of his mentees to be determined to be like such.
You see that photo? What do you think I was there? Lecturer. Can I ask you? You guys just lost. You see how young I was as a lecturer in the Australian Maritime College, now University of Tasmania. So if you are serious, you will be like that. But do you know why they sent me this photograph 2 weeks ago, and that's why I put it here? The last of all these students of mine have become ship captains. So in appreciation, they sent me this photo.
The mother of the day, Mrs. Ife Akerele, requests the future AMSmen and women not to take such opportunity of mentorship for levity. Asks that the females should join Women Association in the marine and blue economy because it will also be of great support.